Assalamualaikum and good day to you, Dr. Seti. So we are from session 8, group 8, are going to present to you for the theme of this project is problematic and ground improvement with the topic of expensive soil. So as for introduction, I, Siti Balkis binti Subur, I'm going to explain to you what is the meaning behind the expensive soil. So expensive soil is typically a clay type of soil that cause damage to the variety of civil engineering structures like building due its ability to shrink and swell when it is exposed to water. So this is a very serious issues in construction project or any construction as the result of the behavior of the expensive soil because of the ability of shrinkage and the swelling as mentioned before. So for the problem statement, this case study is focused on the United Kingdom because the town and cities are mostly built on clay-rich soils, which are the most vulnerable to shrink and swell behavior, that concentrated in the southeast region. So, as mentioned before, clay is extremely sensitive to water, so it easily shrink and swell. So, in other hand, this will affect the construction field as it is a very serious threat to the engineering field. Objective of this case study is conducted for the expectation to identify the properties and characteristics of expensive soil, which will be covered and explained to you by Miss Amani. And second is to investigate the factor influencing expensive soil, which also will be explained in depth by Miss Amani in case study. Last but not least is to justify the treatment for expensive soil. This specific topic or subtopic will be explained to you by Mr. Yaka. So as expensive soils have the ability to show large volume change in direct direction due to its changes in water content. So how the water content might occur some changes, it is because few factors like weather condition and so on. So it is very crucial for engineers to understand about the soil quality because it is an initial step for any construction or any structure that will be built on soil as the foundation.
I will explain about case study of expensive soil. In this topic, I will explain the properties, characteristics, and the factor influencing the expensive soil. Before we go further, let's know how expensive soil occur and the impact of expensive soil. The expensive soil occur when the clay soil responds to moisture contact or suction by swelling and shrinking. There are some types of expensive soil that are made up of clay, shell, or marl, and it can determined by high plasticity, excessive heat, and high well shrink potential. The mineral component of expensive soil consists of clay minerals and natural minerals. Quartz, nickel, phosphor, and a few calcium and gypsum makes up the majority of quartz grain in clay. The detail of chemical and mineral components are shown in table. The color of expensive soil appears to be grayish green. Furthermore, this soil contains salty moisture and moisture substance. The table shows the details of physical component of expensive soil. Next, the characteristic of expensive soil is divided into two categories, which are the characterization of expensive soil and uncertain soil mechanism conception of expensive soil behavior. Characterization of expansive soil is divided into two parts, which are expansion mechanism and clay mineral identification. In terms of expansion mechanism, due to the presence of expanded clay minerals such as montmorillonite, whose morphology is characterized by an expanding clay lattice, The diffuse double layer has an inherent effect on the volume change behavior of expansive soil. Methods for determining the presence of the expandable clear lattice in expansive soil has been proposed, including inferential tests and mineralogical identification. Although mineralogical identification methods are capable of accurately identifying clear minerals in the expansive soil, they have mentioned when it's come to characterizing soil behavior. The behavior of significant volume change in expansive soil may modeling the isolated behavior of expansive soil extremely difficult. The bimodal nature of the soil water characteristic curve indicates the concept of partially saturated behavior in expansive soil. The factor influencing the expansive soil behavior, potential, and pressure. The list of both factors that influence the expansive soil are shown on the slide.
Hi, my name is Eka Ramamasudio, and I will be explaining about the application or the solution of the project problematic soil, which is expansive soil. Okay, so for the application that will be chosen is lime application. Okay, so basically lime containing inorganic mineral in which carbonates, oxides, and hydroxides predominate. Okay, it's a calcium oxide or calcium hydroxide, basically in the form of it, and it's a natural mineral. Okay, so the second one is the mechanism of the lime as an additive for soil stabilization. Okay, so basically it has about two different stages. So the first one is the immediate or short-term treatment, and while the second one is the long-term treatment. Okay, so it has different kind of perspective for these two stages. Okay, so for the first one, which is stage 1, okay, so it's called as immediate or short-term treatment. It requires about few hours or even days. It has 3 major processes, which are cation exchange, flocculation and agglomeration, and lastly is carbonation. Meanwhile, for the stage 2, which is the long-term treatment, okay, it requires several months or years long. It has one major process, which is pozzolanic reaction, which depends on a function of temperature, calcium, quantity, pH volume, and also the percentage of silica plus with alumina. Okay, so the next one is the impacts of slime as a soil stabilizer. Okay, so the first one, fatigue strength increment. Okay, so it is defined as the number of load cycles which is to tolerate at a constant stress level. Okay, meaning that the number of load cycles, it keeps increasing, so meaning that it increases adversely to the ratio of applied stress to static strength. Okay, the next one is the water content and density relationship. Okay, so this flocculation agglomeration process result in floc formation, right? Okay, and then these enlarged particles cause the flow ratio to increase, and naturally reflects the decrease in maximum dry density. Okay, so the third impacts, okay, decreased plasticity index. Okay, the reduction is resulted from the decrease in liquid limit and increasing in plastic limit. Okay, meaning that it's increasing the potential of the soil to be used, okay, for foundation and construction. Okay, so the next one is the increment of soil strength. Okay, so this one is determined by two different type of tests. Okay, so the UCS, which is the unconfined compressive strength, and the second one is the California bearing ratio, CBR. Okay, the plasticity reduction and also compaction feature improvement result in instantaneous strength gains, which is uncured. Okay, an increase in UCS up to 60%. Okay, because of the pozzolanic reaction. Okay, after curing for about 28 days. Okay, so there are other alternative soil stabilizer, but with the lime corporation. Okay, so the first one is the expansive soil with fly ash and also nano lime, and then lastly is the high expansive soil with waste tire and derived aggregates and lime treatment. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Faisal Mal bin Muhammad Zainuddin, CF200-235, and here is our conclusion. Factors that affect the expansion of the soil, we have the soil properties that affect the basic nature of the residual strength of the field, and then environmental factor that affect the change that can occur in the residual stress system and the stress state. So for our project, we can conclude is we using the lime for stabilize the soil. Why we using the lime for stabilize the soil? Because the lime have the properties, their own properties, which is such as affecting strength of the increment, the decreased plasticity index, and then the increment of the soil for the strength to strengthen the soil, and then the durability improvement. So here is our conclusion.